If you've seen my first ever video, you would know that I don't actually platinum every game I play. Far from it, really. If I had to guess, I'd say I platinum around a quarter of the games I start, which isn't great. But I just don't care about completion percentage. I think it's stupid. Anyway, I have a lot of games that I've half completed or barely started, and I figured I might as well clean some of them up. I've compiled a list of 5 games from my trophy list that I want to play again. I have varied progress in each of the games, but this should be fun. I'm excited to pick back up where I left off in all these games. With all that out the way, let's get right into it. Call of Duty Modern Warfare, the remake, not the remaster. I only have 4 out of the 27 base game trophies, and I gotta be honest, I don't remember doing this whatsoever. I definitely played a bit of the multiplayer. I remember I didn't like any of the maps and just wanted to play Shipment over and over, but fortunately there are no multiplayer trophies, so I won't be playing any Shipment today. The trophy I was aiming for when I started playing the game again is called Out of the Fire, and requires me to beat the campaign on Veteran difficulty. I'd also get another trophy for just beating the campaign as well, but Veteran was the goal. I booted up the campaign and the first level begins in this forest.
Ooh, I'm in the game. Damn, this looks really good.
We quickly found this enemy compound, called in an airstrike, then went to clean up the stragglers. I was trying to be quick here and trying not to die, but it would happen. Also, my accuracy wasn't the best here, but I haven't played a first-person shooter in a long time. Don't judge me, okay?
Okay, I don't have the best accuracy in the world, but
The missions in this game aren't that long at all, and after only 20 minutes, the first one was done. The second level had us in London and had an explosive start.
oh!
One of the things I was really liking about this game was the firefights. The combat was actually fun, even though I was dying more than I would have liked.
What the f***? What the f***?
After shooting my way through a bunch of bad guys, I link up with Captain Price. He throws this dude off a balcony who explodes,
Oh shit, dude.
and this ends the second level of the game. I'm not going to be talking about every level in the game as it is just a Call of Duty campaign, but I was having a really good time. It's surprisingly fun. Even if I was dying quite a bit, the game was still fun. The level where you clear the house is extra cool. It just kinda feels badass to go room through room clearing each one. This level in particular was one of my favorites, even though I feel like I may have committed a war crime at the end.
Shit, I got scared. My bad. They did have their hands up. I got scared.
There was one level where I had to defend this compound from these fellas trying to rescue an evil warlord that we captured, and I must have died like 50 times in this level. I just kept dying.
I don't know what's going on.
It was really dark and I couldn't see anything. At times I couldn't even distinguish who was a good guy and who was a bad guy.
I'm sorry.
There's something about levels that are really dark that I don't like. I want to be able to see, dude. This is bullshit. There was a sniper mission that was kinda cool, and even a level where you play as an 8-year-old girl. Kinda unique stuff. Getting tortured was pretty sick too. There's surprisingly a lot of fun moments in the campaign. I like it. After only 5 hours, the campaign was done, and this earned me 2 trophies.
And out of the fight. Oh, okay, that's story done. That wasn't that bad. That didn't take long at all.
The rest of the trophies in the game are all miscellaneous trophies for doing certain things in the campaign. I can also do these on recruit difficulty, so I'm assuming it's not going to be that bad. I started up mission 6 to go for a trophy called Press Boom to Defuse. And all I need to do to get this trophy is destroy 3 tripwires with explosives. I actually forgot to press record, but I did get this trophy. I also got another one in the same level for killing an enemy with a direct hit from a smoke grenade.
I got him. I killed him.
And I did manage to record this one.
Yeah, there it is. Good effect on target.
I then went to mission 3 where I had to bring the cinder block with me through the entire stage.
I'm gonna protect you with my life, cinder block.
This is actually a funny idea for a trophy. I like it. There was another trophy I could earn in this level for killing a bunch of enemies that you're actually supposed to sneak past. And this one was quite easy.
There it is. Play dead.
Eventually, I got my block to the end of the level and that trophy popped too.
Oh, there it is. Companion block. Nice.
I continued to mission 4 and there are 3 trophies to get here. The first is for taking out 4 enemies at once with a Molotov, and I kinda got this one by accident.
Oh, ashes to ashes. Hey.
The next one was for sniping the pilot out of a helicopter.
Oh, I got it. Damn, first shot. You see that? Yeah, there it is. Long way down. Nice.
And finally, I ran into the middle of this combat area and threw Molotovs into the air until I hit a helicopter.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, I got it. Yeah!
Thank goodness I'm playing on recruit difficulty.
Here it is, Wildfire, gold trophy. That was real easy for a gold trophy, man, I've got to be honest.
Also, I don't know why, but the trophy pops are really delayed in this game. Sometimes it takes like 20 seconds after I do the thing for the trophy to pop. The next two trophies are in the very next mission of the game, which just so happens to be my favorite level of the game. The first is for shooting a particular enemy through the wall so that they don't injure my teammate. This one was actually pretty easy. I did have to restart the mission for the next trophy though. The requirements to unlock it are to kill every threat in the level with one bullet and not get hit at all. I did not read the second part of the trophy description, so that's why I failed on my first attempt. But I tried it again and made sure to restart the checkpoint if I did get hit or missed a shot.
Bro's quick with it, dog.
I had to do this quite a few times actually, but luckily the loading time is real quick. Apparently this trophy is buggy, but it popped for me when it was supposed to, so I'm happy. The next trophy had me going back to the second mission in the game. I had to kill enemies in a few specific spots in the level for the Circus Tour trophy. This one was marked as buggy, same as the last trophy, but it popped fine for me.
Here it is, Circus Tour. That was easy.
I then started up chapter 7 and made my way through the level. I even had to do this section where I had to guide this random lady through the building. I always thought this part was kinda goofy.
Oh shit, sorry Stacy. Oh man.
Near the end there's a section where a bunch of trucks are driving towards me and I have to destroy them with this laser pointer airstrike thingy before they stop driving. This wasn't too bad. Every time I messed up I immediately restarted checkpoint.
Well, I messed that up.
The most annoying part about this trophy is just how long it takes to get to the section where you have to do this in. Before not too long the trophy was mine.
Yes sir, there it is. Love from above.
I then started up mission 9. The trophy in this level is all the way at the very end of the stage, just like the last trophy I got, so I had to play all the way through the level as the child yet again. There's 2 enemies to defeat just before the level ends, and I need to take them both out with a single bullet. I may have flubbed my first shot.
Bam! I missed both of them, dude. Damn it.
But on my second try, I got them both.
Hey, I got it. I got them both. There it is, 2 birds.
In mission 10, I had 2 more trophies waiting for me. One for killing 3 enemies while being on a ladder, and the other for getting through the entire tunnel section while only using the pistol. Both of these were kinda easy to do. I'm pretty sure the one for killing 3 enemies on the ladder popped early as well.
Oh, there it is. Hang time.
The other one popped after I cut the wires on this explosive vest. I did fail a few times.
Dude, I wasn't paying attention.
But when I succeeded, the trophy was mine.
Nice, tunnel rat. That wasn't too bad at all.
There was 2 more trophies in the very next stage. I got the first for spitting in this guy's face.
Hawk tour. Hey, nice, got something on your face.
But the second was a little bit more involved. I have to make it through the escape section without getting hit by the sniper rifle. If I did, I'd just restart checkpoint. But this never happened. I did die at one point, and maybe, just maybe, it was my fault.
My grenade didn't go anywhere, dude.
But after shooting the sniper with an RPG, the trophy soon popped.
Take that, you bitch.
There it is, dodged a bullet. No trophy icon, but that's okay. The trophy in the next mission is for getting a kill with 8 different weapons throughout it. I was just making sure to swap my weapon after each kill, and this one was actually pretty easy. The trophy did pop extremely late though.
Oh, there it is, very late, extremely late, but there it is, hot swap, nice.
In the next mission, Going Dark, there's another 2 trophies to get. The first one I was going for is called Lights Out, where I have to turn off the powers to all of the buildings. One of the power switches is story related, but the other 3 I have to do myself.
That's 1, 2, 3, and this is 4, right? There it is, lights out, nice.
Getting this trophy messed up my chances for the other one, so I restarted the mission. The other trophy is a little bit harder. I have to take out all the enemies in the 3 objective buildings without any enemy calling for backup. Basically, I just have to do the mission and kill all the enemies in stealth. I only got caught a few times, and when I did, I reset checkpoint. This was actually kind of an annoying trophy. I spent 20 minutes sneaking around, killing all of these people, and the trophy did not pop. I was then left just wandering around hoping I could find an enemy that I missed. This was a bit frustrating, but soon enough I did find a guy who I shot, and the gold trophy thankfully popped.
There it is, we owned the night. He was the last guy. Okay.
At this point, I only had 1 trophy left, and it was in the last mission. All it required me to do is get past a certain point in the stage without firing my weapon. The only thing I'm allowed to use is this laser pointer that calls in drone strikes. As I was playing on the easiest difficulty, this wasn't too bad. It was actually pretty fun.
Beat this guy.
Jaguar.
This only took me 5 minutes, then the trophy popped.
Yeah, there it is. Warheads on foreheads. And the platinum, there it is. Tier 1. Let's go. Easy money. This didn't take long at all. This was actually really fun as well. This was a fun campaign to do. I liked it, man. I liked it a lot.
Call of Duty's Platinum was actually a load of fun. I really enjoyed it, and I managed to do the whole thing in one sitting. I did play for like 8 hours straight, but still, good game. Honestly, the hardest part about this Platinum is installing the game. You just have to download so many files, it's so annoying. Stupid. Anyway, this first Platinum may have been a short one, but the second one takes up to 100 hours. At least according to PSN profiles. The next game I'm picking back up is Medieval Dynasty. I made a 100 days video on this game. It's really fun, I'm a big fan. I didn't get the Platinum back then because I'm pretty sure one of the trophies was glitched, and I'd have to start a new game for one of the other trophies as well. I already have 35 out of the 45 total trophies and have put about 60 to 70 hours into the game. So I have a good head start. I hopped right in and it felt very strange to be playing this game again.
Oh, I'm in the game.
The game was a bit laggier than I remember and the frame rate was pretty bad, but I'm pretty sure it's only because I have this massive town. I was so confused as to what was going on. This game has so many working parts, it's kind of crazy.
What do I do?
But I quickly focused up on a few main goals. I need to get my hunting and diplomacy skills to level 10 for 2 trophies, make 700,000 more coins for another trophy, and complete 100 side quests. At the same time, I was waiting for my son to turn 18 years old so he could lead the dynasty. To start, I traveled between towns accepting side quests and selling simple shoes, for not only money but diplomacy experience. In between towns, I'd hunt animals if they were there to get hunting experience as well. Also, just to mention, I changed some of the in-game settings to make this easier on myself, so I don't have to micromanage my town or worry about dying while I'm doing this. This definitely makes it a ton easier, but it's still very time consuming. Increasing the experience earned is very important, or I would have had to kill just an unfathomable amount of animals. After a couple of in-game days repeating this, my diplomacy got to level 10 for a trophy.
Hey, Master of Diplomacy, nice. Level 10 diplomacy.
And only a couple days after this, I got my hunting to level 10 too, for another trophy.
Hey, there we go. Nice, there's the trophy, level 10 hunting. Let's go. Sorry, bird. Had to be done.
At this point, I was still just over 600,000 coins short, so I kept selling stuff. I was gonna need to build 5 mines for another trophy, and I already had 1. The only problem with this is that I already had the max amount of buildings I'm allowed, so I actually had to take apart a few buildings I wasn't really using to make room for these potential mines later. The next season was gonna be winter, and there's a trophy for surviving winter without any clothing on. So I took off what I was wearing and went to bed. The following day, I woke up practically naked and went to all the different caves, building a mine in each one. This trophy was actually really easy, and I was pleasantly surprised.
There it is, mine complete. There's the trophy, caveman. That was easy peasy.
Maybe it's just because I'm playing on a PS4, but my game was crashing about once an hour. It was outrageous.
Damn it, dude. Oh my gosh. You bastard. What did I do?
I was very lucky the game autosaves because I was constantly forgetting to save manually. I went to bed at the end of winter expecting a trophy for not wearing any clothing, and the game crashed.
God damn it.
I loaded back into the game and tried again, but the trophy still didn't pop. I decided to load my save and just wait for the season to end without sleeping manually, and again, it didn't work. Something about this trophy is cursed. No matter what I do, it refuses to pop.
Still no trophy, huh?
Next year, my plan is to not even be a shoe salesman, so I don't even have any clothing in my inventory. One problem I was facing was I didn't have enough things to be constantly selling, as my workers didn't produce enough leather for shoes or iron for hammers fast enough. To remedy this, sometimes I just left the game running while I did real life stuff, like folding laundry and watching TV. This would allow my villagers to slowly produce things and also get me closer to playing as my son when he turns 18. A couple hours later, winter was about to come around again. So I took off all my clothing, emptied my inventory, and unequipped everything off my horse as well. I stood still the entire day, praying the game wouldn't crash, and thank goodness, the trophy pop.
Yes, there it is, warm-blooded, finally.
I'm pretty sure the horse having the saddle equipped was preventing me from getting the trophy in the previous years. A bit later on, randomly when turning in an easy side quest, the trophy for doing 100 side quests popped.
Hey, nice, a helping hand, finally, dude.
I was actually a bit worried about this trophy because there's no way to tell how many side quests you've done. I'm just thankful it wasn't glitched or anything. I continued selling and eventually hit 500,000 coins. I'm halfway to the goal, but this is still gonna take a long time. The only other thing I can do trophy-wise besides make big money and wait for my son to turn 18 is to give my wife a gift every season for 2 years straight. I don't know why, but I originally thought I was gonna have to do this on a new save file, and was pleasantly surprised when I realized I could just do it now. I bought a bunch of gifts, and at the start of every day before going to make big money, I gave my wife a gift. Basically at this point, all I had to do was mindlessly grind. So I chucked on a movie and continued selling shit. I also sold all the animals in my village besides my boy Giuseppe to make even more money. The whole grind really was quite boring. Not a whole lot of fun was had, to be honest. It was definitely a test of endurance more than anything, but the money was slowly stacking up. 3 hours later, I had given my wife a gift every season for 2 years straight. But the trophy did not pop. A tragedy.
Ah, shit.
I decided to keep giving her gifts as I stacked up cash and just prayed it would pop eventually. The very next season, I gave her a gift and yeah, still nothing. I looked it up and apparently this trophy is bugged and sometimes takes 2 years and 2 seasons. So hopefully it'd pop next season. It did not.
Dude, where's the trophy?
But that was just the thing. There was no trophy pop. Apparently, I had earned the trophy 40 minutes ago, but the trophy just didn't pop up on screen and there was no screenshot.
There's no screenshot. There's a screenshot for all the other ones, man. You bastard.
Like, what? This has literally never happened to me before, but I'm just happy I got the trophy regardless. I got back to my merchant ways. After a lot of repetitions selling shoes, hammers, and wooden spears, I finally made my first 1,000,000 coins.
Finally!
Farewell.
There it is. Show me the money. That took so long, dude.
Feels good to be rich, baby. I now just need to wait 6 in-game years for my son to turn 18, which would earn me the trophy for playing as an heir. Kinda brutal, but I just left the game on while doing other things while making sure to sleep through the nights. Each in-game day takes a minimum of 25 minutes, which means 1 year at a minimum is 1 hour and 40 minutes. So at the very least, I'd have to wait 10 hours, and that's if the game doesn't crash. Which it did. Once those 10 hours had passed, in the winter of year 20, my son finally turned 18.
Oh, proceed. Dude. Yeah, there it is. The dynasty continues. Nice, we finally got it. That took so long.
Now that that was finally done, I could go after the last trophy in the game. I need to start a new game for this as it's a very missable story trophy. About a third into the game's story, a character jokingly asks for 1,000 logs. And I need to get those 1,000 logs and give them to him. So I decided to speedrun the story as fast as I could to quickly get this trophy. I put together a humble little town and recruited 2 villagers. I put them both to work as lumberjacks so I could slowly accumulate logs. It only took a few in-game days of doing fetch quests for me to reach the 1,000 log quest. I then spent the rest of the day chopping down trees. It took the next 2 in-game days exclusively getting logs. And with the help of my villagers, I gathered the 1,000 logs in about an hour. I used the fast travel cart to get to the town where I could turn in the quest, and the trophy was mine.
I did it. There's the trophy, lumberjack. Let's go, dude. And the platinum. Yeah, finally. What a good game, man. Such a long platinum though. Good game, long platinum.
Medieval Dynasty is a really incredible game. I honestly love it to pieces. The learning curve is definitely a bit steep to start, but when you get the hang of it, the game is so much fun. When I first started the game, all I wanted to do was build a big town, and the game delivered on that and then some. Maybe not all of the platinum experience was a fun time, but I am pretty happy I finally got it. With the Medieval Dynasty platinum done, I could move on to the next game. That being Spyro the Dragon. Now, I don't know why I didn't get this platinum when I first played the game. I'm pretty sure it's only supposed to take like 8 hours to get. But I'm gonna finish it off now. I don't exactly know how far I am in the game, but I have 16 out of the 37 total trophies, so I assume I'm halfway. Also, just before I start, I was a bit sick playing this game, so don't mind me if I sound a little bit nasally. I loaded back into my save, and damn is this game beautiful. Thankfully, past me had been really thorough with collecting the collectibles up until this point. Thank you, past Luca. My goal was to get through the rest of the game while getting all the gems and finding all the dragons. The first level I went into was called Metalheads, and after collecting all the gems in this stage, I actually got a trophy.
Hell yeah, nice. Hey, gems in the rough. A trophy, I don't know what that's for, but I'll take it.
I only had a few more gems to find in the hub world I was in before I 100%ed the area and was on my way to the Dreamweavers area. The first level I started here was Dark Passage, and while going through it, I randomly got a trophy for taking out these demon dogs.
Hey, bad doggies, a trophy.
When back in the Dreamweavers hub world, I got another trophy for taking out some enemies with my charge attack.
Hey, fool's errand, okay.
There's actually a lot of miscellaneous trophies like this, but I wasn't going to focus on them until I'd done everything else first. I was having a lot of fun playing this game. It's really fun to just run around. The best way that I can describe it is that the game feels stress-free. My biggest problem while playing is that I kept falling off the map. It was truly a sad experience.
Oh. No.
Haunted Towers was a pain in the ass and probably the level I liked the least. It just took me ages to figure out how to get to the secret area. In fact, I had to Google it because I was so confused. The next trophy I got was another unexpected one for charging 4 of these birds in a row.
Hey, a trophy all puffed up.
After completing a few levels, I reached the final level in Dreamweavers called Icy Flight. These flight levels change up the gameplay quite a bit and I actually like them a lot. There's a gold trophy for doing this level without touching the ground, and I figured I might as well go after it while I'm here.
Pull up. Oh my damn you, Spyro.
It took me a few attempts to learn the level, but overall this one wasn't too bad, and I soon had my gold trophy.
There it is, fly like an eagle. That wasn't too bad, that was actually pretty easy.
At this point, Dreamweavers was done, and I moved on to Nasty's world. There's a few levels I had to do, so I got to work. It didn't take long to complete them and reach the final boss. Nasty Nork.
What's up, dude? Oh, dude, chill out.
He was a complete pushover and the fight was very anticlimactic. After the fight, I was informed if I get 100%, I could unlock another level. But I'd done all the levels so far and I wasn't at 100%. Apparently, I missed an entire level in Magic Crafters, so I went back to do it. The level I missed was another flight level. I got a trophy in this one for taking out the 2 fairies.
Hey, hot wings too, nice.
I also had one of the closest attempts of getting all-in-one ever. This was so damn close.
Faster. Quick, no! What the fuck? Dude, what the fuck? That was so close. Bullshit.
When I did get all-in-one on the level, I had 100%. And when I traveled back to Nasty's Nexus, I got a gold trophy for unlocking Nasty's loot.
Hey, a trophy, I wasn't even in the room. What did I get that for?
If I collected all the gems in this new level, another trophy would be mine. So I got to collecting. It didn't take long at all to pick everything up and get it.
That's 100%. There's the trophy, Hoarder, let's go. That was fun.
All that was left was 12 miscellaneous trophies, and these were actually really fun to clean up. I started by doing the Nasty Nork boss fight again. I chased him around the little chase section 5 times for a silver trophy.
That's 1. That's 2. That's 3. That's 4. And that's 5. And there's the trophy, dragging on and on and on.
I then went to Nasty Nork Cove, where I did the level without hurting any of these helpless rats.
You're gonna be okay, buddy. I would never hurt you, man.
This one was actually quite easy.
Red-tastic, okay, nice.
In fact, a lot of the trophies were quite easy. I quickly charged through these 4 enemies in Magic Crafters, charged a vulture in Dry Canyon, did a loop around an arch in a flying level, took out a Nork with this cannon, burned these 5 mushrooms and beast makers.
1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Quickly lit these 3 fireworks in Terrace Village, and defeated all these tin soldiers in Haunted Towers. I totally didn't struggle with this one.
Spyro!
After all this, I still had more to do. I had to defeat these 4 nightmare beasts in a single glide. I feel like I didn't quite deserve this one, but hey.
1, 2, 3. No! God damn it. Oh, I still got it. It still counted. Dude, I definitely landed, but I'll take the trophy.
I then went to the Twilight Harbor level where I had to destroy these 6 gears. I had to look up a guide for this one. I did try and find them myself, but it was impossible, okay?
Boom, what really grinds my gears? Nice.
At this point, there was only one last trophy for me to get, and it was called Launch Date. And I distinctly remembered trying to do this before I stopped playing this game, and I couldn't figure it out. But the trick is to do all 4 jumps in the level without dying. You have to do them all in one life. Honestly, this was surprisingly easy.
And 4 super jumps. There's the trophy, Launch Date. That wasn't too bad at all. And the platinum, nice! Nasty's demise. What a cool picture. What a good game as well, this was fun. This didn't take very long at all, this was real fun.
Spyro was actually a ton of fun to revisit, and I really liked the trophy cleanup at the end. It was very satisfying. This only took me a grand total of 4 hours to clean up, and I gotta say, time well spent. Also, I just wanted to point out that the platinum trophy icon is very cool. I like it. Overall, Spyro was a nice little break between Medieval Dynasty, which took ages, and No Man's Sky. I got this game on release because I was lost in the hype. Damn you, Sean Murray. Never again did I buy a game on release. I made decent progress into the game, but every couple of years I picked up the game again and reset my current game to see what the latest update was all about. So I honestly have no idea how deep I am into the story or how close I am to unlocking more trophies. What I do know is that I have just over half of the base game trophies, and I'm just gonna hope this isn't gonna take too long. I loaded up my old save and was immediately confused.
Right, where am I? Oh my gosh. What is happening? Why am I so low resolution?
I didn't know what anything was or what anything did.
Okay, I've got a lot of stuff. That could be good.
And most importantly, I didn't know what to do.
Dude, I am so confused, man. I am so confused.
I eventually made my way to the space station and was even more confused. It's quite hard to tell what's happening at all.
Bro, there is so much shit here now, dude. I remember this being like barren.
I found this teleporter which I used to teleport to one of my old bases, appropriately named Shithole.
This is my base? This is my base? This is what I made? I can't even get in. Oh. This is the biggest piece of shit base ever, dude.
This place sucks. I teleported to my other base called Colonist, and I don't know if this place is much better, to be honest. Soon it became daytime, and the place did start looking a lot better. Maybe this place isn't that bad after all. I messed around with all the controls and menus.
Dance. Oh! Hell yeah, dude! I got some schmooze, man. What the hell? This is sick!
And took some time to look at a trophy guide too. I decided my goal would be to go after a trophy called Galapagos. I don't know if I said that right. To get it, I would need to discover all the different fauna on 10 different planets. And I'd already done one. I'd also get another trophy for doing this on 7 planets, so that was the goal. On the planet I was on, I had already found 10 of the 17 different species of animals. So I kinda assumed this wasn't gonna take too long, but I was wrong. After an hour of searching this planet, I'd only found 2 of the creatures I was looking for. A complete scam. Eventually, I discovered you can tell what biome the creatures you're looking for are in, and that would have helped because all the remaining creatures are underwater or underground. I definitely wasted a lot of time just walking around, but at least now I know. I went underwater, and it didn't take me very long at all to find these underwater creatures, but I couldn't for the life of me find the underground creatures. I searched and searched and searched. These bastards did not exist. I'm telling you, they were nowhere. I ended up looking online where to find them, and apparently it's a common problem. Look at this comment. I don't have 7 hours to waste looking for these dumbass creatures. The solution was to build my own cave with the terrain generation tool and reload the game. I did this one time and actually found one of the creatures I was looking for.
Hey. That's a cave creature.
But there was still one mystery creature I couldn't find, and it was the common one as well. It took like 20 minutes of reloading, but eventually I did find the last creature.
Dude, I finally found it. Look at this dumbass. You piece of shit. Fuck you.
That's 2 planets done out of 10. Hopefully the rest won't take as long as this one did. I hopped in my ship and flew to another planet. I actually only needed to find 2 more animals here. I guess I'd gotten the other 4 when I played the game previously. It didn't take me long to find them at all, and I moved on. The next planet I went to was a very quick planet as well. I wasn't there for more than 10 minutes before I'd found everything. This is now going better than I thought. I teleported to my other base, Shithole, and I only needed 3 creatures here. Unfortunately, one of the creatures was an underground creature. So I made my own bootleg cave, reset the game, and there he was.
What's up, little feller?
I now had to grind out the 5 remaining planets. This didn't go well on each planet I visited. Sometimes I'd just give up and try a different planet if it was taking too long. Also, just wanted to point out that this planet looks like Namek from Dragon Ball Z. That's pretty cool, right? Looking for all the animals on each planet was actually pretty boring. I did not enjoy doing this very much. I especially didn't enjoy having to make the cave biomes. It definitely felt like a waste of time. In hindsight, this was probably the least fun trophy to go after on the entire trophy list. And doing it first probably didn't help my enjoyment of the game. One thing that was really bugging me when I was playing is that it is dark all the time. I understand when you're on a planet there's a day and night cycle, but it really feels like it's dark a majority of the time. I don't like it. I want to be able to see shit, man. After a lot of bad luck on planets 6 and 7 and just over 5 hours of exclusively doing this, I got the trophy for completing 7 planets.
Give me the trophy, the Star Beast. Finally, dude, that took so long.
3 more to go. It's kind of crazy that sometimes finding all the fauna on a planet takes like 10 minutes and other times I'm searching for an hour and I'm still missing some of the stupid animals. Finding all the fauna on the last 3 planets actually only took about 30 minutes altogether. Perhaps I just got lucky.
Yeah, there it is. I don't know how to say that. Galapagos?
From here, there's a few different goals for me to choose from. The easiest being a gold trophy called What Mad Universe, for meeting a total of 80 aliens. There's a ton of these guys in the space station of each solar system. So the plan was to hop between space stations until I met enough aliens to get the trophy. I've already met 40 out of the 80 aliens, so this shouldn't take too long at all. Fortunately, I had the materials for a bunch of warp cells, so I didn't have to grind to be able to jump between solar systems. This would also contribute to 2 more trophies called The Longest Voyage and A Space Odyssey, where I'd have to warp between 40 and 75 different solar systems, so 2 birds, 1 stone. After meeting a few aliens in different solar systems, I warped to a new system and there were pirates attacking a freighter. There's 2 trophies for destroying 50 and 80 spaceships, so I made sure to take them out while it was convenient. Also, unrelated to the trophies, but the freighter I saved ended up giving me the entire ship.
I can just have this?
Yeah, this big ass freighter is mine now. I feel like it's too much reward for the little amount of work I did, but I'll take it. In the same system as the freighter was an extreme planet. These planets are hard to survive on due to harsh conditions, and there's a couple of trophies for surviving on one of these planets for a very long time. So I set up a little base here so I could come back later and get the trophies. Anyway, I continued meeting aliens and warping to new systems. This really didn't take that long because there's about 10 aliens per space station, and soon the trophy was mine.
There it is. What mad universe. Finally.
The next couple of trophies I was after were the 2 for warping to new solar systems. The plan is to warp between systems over and over and over again. If there were any interruptions by space pirates, I'd make sure to take them out to contribute to the Destroying Space Pirates trophy too. And this is what I did. I warped, and as soon as I got to the new system, warped again. It wasn't the most exciting thing in the world, but at least it was better than scanning all the fauna on a planet. That shit sucked. Most of the grind was just looking at the pretty loading screen of warping, but after an hour I'd finally warped 40 times and got a silver trophy.
Hey, there it is, the longest voyage.
I continued the warping grind, and after another hour of what quite frankly could be used as a torture method, I finally warped 75 times and got my next gold trophy.
There's the trophy, A Space Odyssey. Dude, that took so long, man.
My new focus was destroying pirates in space combat. There's trophies for 50 and 80 pirates defeated, and I'm at 30. There's a couple of ways you can do this. There's missions in the anomaly to hunt pirates, and I did this to begin with, but decided just being a menace and destroying innocent ships would probably be easier, so I did that. I attacked the space station and got into the biggest space battle I've ever been in. The battle was never ending. I think the amount of enemies was endless because I actually ended up getting both the trophies in this one engagement.
Hey, there it is, the Forever War, nice.
Sadly, I died trying to get away from the endless onslaught of enemy ships, but it doesn't really matter.
No!
I now only have 3 trophies to get before the platinum, and I can get them all in the same place. I went to the space station I just attacked, these guys are oddly forgiving, then teleported to the extreme planet where I set up that little base a while ago. I need to survive 48 in-game days for 2 trophies and walk 5,000 more distance for the other one. I don't know what unit of distance this is. I started with the total distance walk trophy because I was already pretty close, and after running around in circles for 10 minutes, the trophy popped.
Yes sir, there it is. Have spacesuit, will travel. Nice.
All I had to do now was wait. That's it. Not very exciting stuff. The planet does slowly kill me from radiation, so I have two options. Repair and recharge my equipment every 2 minutes, or just die repeatedly and spawn over and over and over again. Obviously, I went with the latter because it requires far less effort. It actually requires no effort. I made a storage container, chucked all my stuff in it, and just stood outside in the extreme conditions and waited. I didn't know exactly how long this was going to take, but I did know it was going to take a long time. 8 hours of standing outside in the extreme radiation later, I got the silver trophy for surviving 30 days.
Yes!
And 6 hours later, after dying over 250 times, I got the final trophy for surviving 48 days.
Yes, there it is! The Sentinel! And the Platinum, yes! Dude, I worked so hard! Yes, finally!
Surviving being a very loose term because, again, I did die over 250 times. I gotta be honest, No Man's Sky's Platinum wasn't a whole lot of fun. I did enjoy the game more towards the end because I had a better understanding of what was going on, but I think the trophy list is so bad. The trophies for scanning every fauna on a planet and surviving on extreme planets suck so much. I think the game does have some fun things to do, but you don't get trophies for the fun stuff. This game is not made for trophy hunters, and if you want to enjoy this game, don't go after the trophies. Besides all the waiting around for the last couple of trophies to pop, the game took about 10 hours of actively playing to clean everything else up. The final game I'm going to be cleaning up the trophies for took me the longest, and is the reason it took so long to make this video. Dark Cloud 2 or Dark Chronicle. It's got two different names for some reason, but it is the same game. Anyway, Dark Cloud 2 is a PS2 game ported to modern systems. It's this weird dungeon crawling JRPG with so many different mechanics, things to do, and ideas. This is actually a 100-hour platinum as well, just like Medieval Dynasty. And I am a big chunk of the way through, having 21 out of the 31 total trophies. I've done a few of the grindy trophies already, like completing the Georama, upgrading to the best weapons, and reaching photography level 8, but I still have a ton of grinding to do. Just like every other game I picked up, I was very confused as to what to do when I started. I spent the first 20 minutes just looking through menus, walking around, and looking at my fish. After composing myself, I started chipping away at the grindiest trophy in the game. It's called Metalhead and requires me to earn all the medals in every chapter. These are basically extra challenges you do within the dungeons, and range from speedrunning the stage to defeating all the enemies with certain weapons or items, and speeder. Speeder is actually really fun, but also one of the most frustrating things on the planet. I was originally planning on getting all the medals in all the dungeons in order, but I was so bad at Speeder. I figured I'd get practice from doing all the other objectives and the other levels first, because you always get to play Speeder at the end anyway. Thankfully, I already have a quarter of these medals, 94 out of 396, but this was still going to be an absolute grind, and I was here for it. While grinding out these medals, I was feeding these fish in my fish tank specific items in service of a different trophy called Finny Frenzy First. Basically, feeding them food trains them up, and there's a competition every 20 in-game days, which is a fish race, and I gotta win it. It is kind of weirdly complicated with all the stats and numbers and stuff, but it's okay. Feed the fish every couple of minutes. Honestly, I did forget to do this all the time. It's surprisingly hard to remember when you're doing other things. In some of the levels later on, one of the challenges for the medals is for catching a large fish, and this fishing minigame is weirdly complicated too. Also, I was getting super unlucky. I just could not catch a big enough fish. I didn't know at the time, but there's stats for your fishing rod which make it easier to catch bigger fish. One thing I haven't mentioned yet is how riddled this game is with missable trophies. There's a photograph mechanic in the game where you can take photos of things, combine them with other photos you've taken to learn new recipes and craft items. A lot of the photos in the game are missable. There's also a point of no return where an entire dungeon disappears. So I need to get all the medals in the dungeon before progressing the story any further. While spending hours doing this medal grind, I was actually avoiding some of the medals. I didn't do the fishing medals because I need to do the Finny Frenzy competition to unlock lures to make it easier. I avoided the item only medals because they're the most difficult and I was saving them for last. I also wasn't doing the monster transformation medals because my monster isn't a high enough level and can't damage the enemies. But everything else I would try my best to complete. That was until I had a bit of a change of plan while playing. I figured only one of the dungeons disappears when I continue past the point of no return, so if I just get all the medals in this dungeon, I could move on with the story and get some other trophies out of the way without having to grind for hours and hours getting all the medals everywhere else. I'd still have to do the grind eventually, but hopefully I'd be stronger and more prepared if I finished off with everything else first. After grinding out these medals for a long time, I'd say this probably took about 10 hours, I'd done almost everything in this final dungeon. Even the tedious ass kill all the enemies with items. Holy shit, this was a complete pain. The only thing I was missing was to kill all enemies in 3 of the levels with monster transformation. The only problem being my monster was still way too low of a level. I had actually been grinding him up during this dungeon by swapping him out after every kill so he gets the experience, but he was still way too underleveled to be able to complete these levels by himself. The only thing I could do was grind out experience until he was stronger. At this point he was level 35 and needs to be a minimum of level 51 to be able to clear these dungeons. It took 2 whole hours to get the stupid Gemron monster to level 51. I feel like everything in this game just takes a long time. I enjoy the game, I really do, but everything just moves at a snail's pace. Regardless, I could finally finish off the medals in this dungeon, and that's what I did. It wasn't the most exciting thing in the world. The monster's attack stun locks the enemies, and sometimes you have to hit them 20 times to be able to take them out, but I did it. I could now take on the boss and continue the story. But the Finny Frenzy race was on and I didn't want to wait another 20 days for it to leave and come back, so I decided to do this instead. I combined my fish into an ultimate fish and participated. Go Tartan! Go, brother! I did actually lose on my first attempt because I didn't combine all 3 fish. Damn it! You have to feed a fish 5 times after it's born to be able to breed again, so I did this before my next attempt. I renamed the fish Omega because they're the greatest fish ever, and we easily swept the competition. Yes! Yeah. Let's go, dude. This earned me a trophy. The first one in 15 hours of gameplay. There's the trophy, nice. Finny Frenzy first. I actually got another trophy immediately afterwards for recruiting all possible characters to my party. Yeah, supporting cast. Very nice. Let's go. I already had 21 out of the 22 total party members, and the only one I was missing had the requirement that you need to win the Finny Frenzy. So after I did that, it was an easy trophy. I went inside the final boss room and took out the boss. Winner! I then had to climb this giant spiral tower that just took way too long, at the top of which was the true final boss, Dark Element. He's actually really strong and I lost. Oh my god. And since this is an old JRPG, there's no autosaves or checkpoints, and I had to do everything all over again since my last manual save. 30 minutes down the drain, but whatever. I eventually had another chance against the boss, and I took him out, which earned me a trophy for completing Chapter 7. He's gone, bro. This the trophy, nice. After a bunch of cutscenes, the credits started to roll. I'm not actually done with the game, there's another whole dungeon, but the main story is now done. Also, I couldn't skip the credits, and they were abysmally slow. It was heartbreaking. I now had to do the final dungeon, and goddamn are there a lot of stages in this dungeon. It legitimately goes on and on. There's over 30. Oh my god, there's so many levels. And yeah, I do have to get all the medals in each of them. But the goal at this point was to just go through the stages and level up my monster while getting as many medals as I can on the first attempt. A few hours into this dungeon, I reached a robot clown boss, and taking a picture of him is the last photo I need to be able to make all the inventions. Except, it was here I realized I missed 3 of the missable photos at the very beginning of the game, which is honestly tragic. Luckily, there is a system in the game where you can transfer photos between save files. This did mean I had to start a new game and play a few hours into the story to get said photos, but it's better than the alternative of having to start a new save file and doing everything all over again. I probably would have given up if that was the case. I started up the new save file and it took me an hour and a half to get these photos, but I did do it. After snapping a pic of this fish, I had all the photos I needed. I put the photos in the idea book thingy and started combining every idea to make the blueprint for all 129 inventions. I didn't think this would be a long process, but it was. I spent a full hour and a half scrolling through this list of things and combining them all together. After the long, grueling process that I'm conveniently skipping over for the sake of the video, a gold trophy was mine. Okay, I believe this is the last one. Yep, there it is. Gold trophy, a true visionary. Thank goodness. I continued through the dungeon I was working on, just hoping to make it to the end and fight the boss for another trophy. It didn't take too long to get to the last dungeon and challenge this giant genie dude to a fight. Dark Genie. The battle took a long time because you can only attack him when he turns blue, and there were just some incredibly long stretches of time before he did this. Fortunately, it's pretty easy to avoid all his and his minions' attacks, so it was a battle of endurance more than anything. Eventually, I got him, earning myself the final story trophy. I got him!
Yeah, there we go. There's the trophy right there.
And the credits started to roll again. I figured I'd crack out another easy trophy after this for renaming a weapon. I bought this name change ticket for the price of some medals I've been earning and changed the name of a weapon. It was very simple, but the trophy popped.
Yeah, nice. Easy trophy. Alternate alien.
At this point, my monster was level 59, and if I got it to level 76, I'd get another trophy. So I went to the mines and started grinding out some more medals and leveling the monster. Every now and then, I'd leave the dungeon to check the in-game time. If it was between 4 to 6 PM or close to it, I'd go to the spot in Heimrada to try and catch the legendary fish. You have to do a specific button input to get them to show up, but you also need a lot of luck. After a few tries, I finally got a bite and could reel in the fish. It's definitely the hardest fish to reel in the game, but after the slow process, the trophy was mine.
Hey, we got him! Yeah, there's the trophy, a class of its own. Let's go.
At this point, I only had 2 trophies to get before the platinum. One for getting my monster to level 76, and the other for getting all the medals. So I went back to Zalmite Mines to work on them both at the same time. After 5 hours of grinding out the medals in the dungeons, I still wasn't fully done with the medals, but I was making good progress. Also, my boy Gemron got to level 76, meaning I could evolve him, earning me a trophy.
Here's the trophy. Let's go. Finally, we've only got one left to do.
I now only had 1 trophy to go, that being for getting all the medals. And let me tell you, this is a grind. To be fair, it is kind of a chill grind, which is nice. You don't really need to concentrate super hard. I was watching YouTube videos for hours and hours while doing this, and although very time consuming, I was kinda having fun. It felt nice to slowly chip away at something over the course of a few days. Some lowlights for me were the Sphyro challenges in the Underground Canal and the Starlight Canyon dungeons. Obviously the item only challenges were a complete pain, but I did get used to them after a while. And I hated the fishing challenges with a passion. It felt like it took so long to get the fish to bite. I was kinda losing my mind. I didn't really discover a trick to fishing at all. I used the lure rod in Rainbow Butterfly Woods and the normal rod everywhere else. You can increase the stats on each fishing rod the more you use them, and I assume this is why the normal rod was working later in the game, but I don't really know. One big thing about Sphyro that I didn't know for a long time that really would have helped, especially in the last dungeon, is that you can press square when standing close to your ball to slightly move the position of the ball. This is really useful in the final dungeon in particular, because my ball kept getting stuck out of bounds for whatever reason, and you can use this to continue playing. Also, you can do this on the last stroke for free. It usually takes up a stroke, but on your last shot it doesn't. I didn't know about this for ages, so sometimes my ball would just get stuck and I would just quit out, clear the entire dungeon again just to retry Sphyro. I definitely wasted a lot of time doing this. After just an insane amount of time, it literally felt like weeks of my life, I was finally on the final dungeon. And the 2 requirements I had to do for it were defeating every enemy with items and speedrunning the level. Since I assumed this was going to be the last level, I was very generous with my items. No need to be economical because this was the last level I had to do. I was throwing shit left and right, and it felt pretty good not to have to worry about saving the items for the next level. At the end of the dungeon, upon defeating the last enemy, the gold trophy was mine.
Yeah, Metalhead, we finally got it. Let's go. And the platinum. Finally, that took so long, dude. That was tough, man. That was just a brutal grind, man. Oh, thank God it's done. That took so long.
Dark Cloud 2's platinum was such a grind. My total playtime on the save file was 110 hours. This doesn't account for the many times I died, or the work I had to do on the fresh save file. It was pretty fun though, I had a surprisingly good time. This game really is something special, and I don't hear people talking about it very much at all. Maybe don't go for the platinum unless you have an ungodly amount of free time, but I think the game is something people should experience. For those that are going for the platinum though, I'm gonna link a guide that actually saved my ass. I could not have gotten this platinum without the guide for the item medals, so a big thank you to this guy. Anyway, that's gonna wrap up my platinum trophy cleanup for now. If you made it to the end of the video, let me know if you enjoyed it. I've linked my PSN profiles account so you can check out all my trophies if you'd like. If you see a game on there that you'd be interested in seeing me clean up, let me know. I could always make a part 2. Remember to like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Thanks so much for watching, and a special thank you to my awesome channel members. Happy trophy hunting, fellas, and have a good day. Bye bye.